Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our live streaming coverage here at the APP SUNMED LA Open. As we are working our way through the schedule, our men's quarterfinals and semis are getting set. But in the meantime, we have a consolation bracket match here between Yates Johnson on the far end and newcomer to the pro pickleball scene, Cam Luring. Cam is 20 years old, out of Parkersburg, Iowa. He played in his very first pro event at the APP Indianapolis Open, playing in men's pro doubles, but this is his first ever appearance in singles at the pro level. So as always, we love being able to highlight some of the new players coming onto the scene. He takes on Yates Hunter, who we saw earlier in the day as we started our live streaming coverage. He was knocked down to the consolation bracket by Dylan Frazier in 3 games. He is 28 years old from New Braunfels, Texas, along with his twin brother, Hunter Yates, who is still battling in the men's pro single bracket as well. Lauren McLaughlin and Daniel Roditi here in the booth for our final day of coverage. Claire Cavanaugh will be our USA Pickleball Certified referee for this match. And we mentioned it yesterday with both of the Johnson siblings. They're both taking a break from singles today. Just, you know, I know everybody is kind of... Everyone's just like, where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Where are they? Where are they? It's like, guys, there's like 100 tournaments in the year. They're human beings with bodies that need to rest every once in a while. And, you know, you got to remember, not only are you playing just really long, intense days back to back to back, especially if you play in the 3 events, but the travel, depending where you're going, just constantly, that can wear you down. So absolutely, these athletes need to take breaks sometimes, take a whole tournament off, a couple, you know, just, they got to listen to their bodies. And although the Johnsons are young, still it doesn't really matter how old you are. You're going to feel the grind of the tournament life, and they play all 3 events. And especially if you do well in all 3 events, it's a very long day usually. So, absolutely. So yeah, no singles today for J.W. Johnson or Georgia Johnson, but still some absolutely fabulous names in the mix. I know, I thought it might have been a little wide, but really nice. You mentioned it, but missed it, excuse me, Cam Luring. 20 years old. This is his very first ever pro singles event that he's playing. Luring is the number 29 seed here today, to be expected as he's very new to the scene. Good lead there from Johnson, who is the number 18 seed. He does, younger brother, totally.
Point. 1-3.
Oh, great spot there from Johnson. Just too quick. And I didn't have a chance to really chat with Cam ahead of time, so I'm not sure if he's currently in school. He is just 20, so he might be attending college right now. I'm not quite sure of his athletic background, but certainly watching him play seems like he could have multiple sports in his repertoire.
Yeah, could be an NFL linebacker, could be small forward in basketball.
Could be an amazing soccer player. I mean, he just looks
he's a big guy.
Good athletic build, so I'm excited to have those new players coming into the scene. Hopefully we'll be seeing Cam a lot more often.
Beautiful shot from Yates Johnson. Just a nice little roll, inside out forehand. Again, you don't have to have a ton of pace to be effective. Placement is key.
Oh, some nice cat and mouse there from Luring.
Yeah, Johnson loves that little flick cross court once he's in the kitchen. We saw that a few times in his match against Frazier. Yeah, that backhand by Luring, just not enough topspin on that. It's just kind of flat. So the ball's going to float a little bit more, giving Johnson an easier opportunity to get to it. Missing there. So it's part of the learning curve for someone new like Luring to learn how to put some topspin on that backhand. Yeah, you see him try to slice it. Slicing to pass is just not going to work most of the time. You can slice to drop.
Yeah, not only has Luring just dipped his toe into pro pickleball, his very first tournament ever, at least on pickleballtournaments.com, is from May of this year.
Oh.
So we're talking, 2 months ago, not even.
And where is he from?
He is from Parkersburg, Iowa.
Huh. I would have just guessed he was a local since this is his
looks a little
first tournament.
He did play in men's pro doubles at the Indianapolis Open.
Okay.
So
he
was there with you, but you might not have seen him.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see him.
So he could be very new to pickleball in general.
Right. There's that cross court from Johnson that likes to use so much.
So coming up next on Championship Court is going to be our first men's semifinal match. Federico Staksrud will take on James Ignatowicz. That should be a very nice match. Ignatowicz kind of crashed onto the scene as well, played for the first time in pro in South Carolina not too long ago. Quickly fell in love with the game and now really making a name for himself, having some really nice wins and also very close matches with some of the top players. So he's knocking on the door.
Yeah, had a great tournament in Orange County. Big tournament. Came in with the bronze in a very, very deep singles field.
We'll switch ends at 8 here in this match to 15.
Where in Iowa is he from, did you say?
Parkersburg.
Huh. Now we have a senior pro singles player, DK Ajiri, who is from Iowa as well. Just curious if they maybe play each other in singles. I don't know how many people they have in Iowa to practice with at a high level.
Really nice. His sliding makes me think he's got some tennis
Yeah,
in
yeah.
his background.
Yeah.
For sure, because people that come from tennis are used to the slide.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see the Johnson twins do it very often, as does Gabriel Joseph.
Right.
Ignatowicz, will see him slide. Federico Staksrud,
Yeah.
all the big tennis players. So have to think for sure we have some tennis in Luring's background. But Yates Johnson has gotten to 8, so that will trigger the end change here in this match to 15. Both of these players looking to stay alive. And as I mentioned earlier, our women's pro singles bracket kicked off a little bit later than our men here today. So as they're working through their bracket, we will definitely be getting some of their matches here on Championship Court as well.
Yeah, I was just checking on Mary Brasha. She was having a battle with Rosie Johansson.
Time in.
And
8-5.
I think Johansson took game 1.
Side out.
And it was 9-9 in the second game. I didn't get a chance to finish watching that.
5-8. Point. Six, 8.
Yeah, you see Luring there trying to use a little topspin on that backhand. You can tell he's just not quite comfortable with it yet.
8-6.
Yeah, good read from Johnson,
Point.
closing in on that drop.
And we are having some of our equipment, I think, struggling a little bit with some overheating, I believe. So we're working on trying to get that under control. But stay with us.
Side out.
Unfortunate miss there from Johnson. Had an open court. Missed it long.
Side out.
Yeah, I think Johnson needs to keep attacking the Luring backhand. Certainly not as comfortable as he is with his forehand. And
Point.
I was just going to say, before they switch, Luring keeps returning from that left side but looking for forehands, and it just leaves the court so open for Johnson.
10-6.
It takes him so far out of position, especially when Johnson uses the slice spin serve, because then it kicks even more
11-6.
to the left, and Luring keeps running, trying to run around it and hit a forehand, but it just leaves way too much court for Johnson to use. Let's see what he does in this next one, but I'd like to see him hit a backhand, if for no other reason, just to be able to be in a better position when he comes in.
Yeah, so Johnson creating a little bit bigger of a gap after the end change here. And while Yates Johnson has only been playing pickleball since January as well, as we mentioned, this is Cam Luring's first foray into pro singles. So definitely hope to see him a lot more. Hope he is planning on playing a lot more tournaments, and we'll see him at some other events, but always going to be a learning curve.
Right. Yeah, again, having trouble with that backhand. Tries to do a kind of a tennis volley, sails it long. Oh, it was there.
Side out.
And we saw Yates Johnson earlier in the previous match against Frazier, and you mentioned one of his favorite shots is that two-handed backhand cross court.
Right.
Good hands on both sides.
Yeah, and same when he's in the kitchen. He likes to, I mean, he uses one hand, but he kind of comes around the ball and hooks it cross court. We've seen him do that several times.
12-6. Point.
Almost looked like I was watching Luring's face on that volley, and it looked like he almost looked up at Johnson to see where he was going to go as he was hitting the shot, and almost like he kind of took his eye off of it.
Yeah.
So he got a little distracted by trying to figure out where Johnson was going first.
14-6. Side out. 6-14. Side out.
Yeah, would have liked to see him go cross court with that ball instead of inside out.
14-6.
Oh, good spot there, a little funky bounce. And Luring holds off the match point from Johnson.
6-14.
Oh, Johnson looked like he was a little unsure if that was staying in.
Right.
14.
So we'll have another match point here for Yates Johnson. Oh, nice angle there from Luring. And if you haven't noticed, Luring, a very tall gentleman, has
Yep.
very long reach.
Yeah, he's got to be 6'3".
6'2", yeah, 6'2", 6'3". Definitely. He's going to be able to use that length to his advantage, as we saw in that last rally.
14.
Yeah.
Side out.
Just, you could tell he's just not nearly as comfortable with his backhand as he is with his forehand.
Side out. 6-14.
Oh my god, what a get.
Yeah, great get. Ball just clips the line. Good get from Luring, but couldn't do enough with it. Easy put away for Johnson.
14-6. Point.
Really nicely done. Luring was moving Johnson around very well there, but he will be done for the day. Again, very excited to have introduced everyone to a new player on the pro scene. Hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of Cam Luring in the future, but Yates Johnson stays alive to fight one more battle here in the back draw. And we will have, as I mentioned before, coming up, our men's semifinal match. Federico Staksrud versus James Ignatowicz is coming up next, and a women's match in the semis will follow that. Lina Padigamete versus Anna Bright will follow our men's semi, so don't go anywhere. Two amazing matches coming up back to back, and we'll be into the action right after this. just an update, everyone. I put it in the chat, but for anyone who is not watching the chat, we did have a bit of a system glitch that we need to take care of to make sure all of our cameras are working and you guys have the best possible streaming experience. So just don't go too far. We may go down for just a short amount of time, but we will be back up before we get into the men's semifinal. So don't go too far and join us again very quickly if we do go down, but we're hoping we don't. So just a quick update, but back into the action after this, guys.